Hello, okay, so we are looking today in science, or this week, what we would have looked at if we were in school still, okay? We would have looked at life cycles, and you're going to be going, what, Miss Parrott, we did this in year 2. Yes, you did do it in year 2, so let's have a quick recap, okay? In year 2, you would have looked at a life cycle of probably a butterfly, okay? I know they do this in year 2 now, okay? Now, we all probably know this really easily. Start with an egg. The egg becomes a caterpillar turns into a pupa, cocoon, whatever you want to call it. That hatches into a butterfly, and then the butterfly goes and lays more eggs, and the cycle continues, okay? And yes, you all know that off heart. You've done that a really good job. You've probably done it with tadpoles, chickens, okay? Simple, we've got that. Yeah, but in year 5, we need to go into a lot more detail. We need to be going into the same amount of detail as I have here for mine, okay? So I will talk you through it in a moment, but before we do, let's just clarify some new keywords that we're going to have to look at and learn for today. Okay, the first keyword for today is juvenile, okay? This means just it's about young things, okay? So not babies and not adults, the bit in between. So with humans, it would be teenagers, okay, but technically you don't actually have a teenage beaver or a teenage seal or dog or anything, okay? You have a juvenile, okay? So that's the first word. Next one, we've got gestation, okay? So this is a gestation period, which is basically how long the female is pregnant for, okay? So with humans, it's generally 9 months, okay? But it can really vary from different animal to animal, okay? A rabbit is about 6 to 8 weeks, whereas an elephant is something like 18 months, okay? I bet your mums are thankful it's not 18 months. Next one, embryo, okay? This is where obviously you grew inside your mum's tummy, okay? And you didn't look like, to start off with, what you looked like when you were first born. You started off as really, really small. That was the embryo, okay? So the embryo is when an animal, so an offspring, okay, is growing inside the mum's womb, the female's womb, okay? There are new words for today, and you are going to use them in your life cycles. Now we know what a seal embryo is, okay? So this is my drawing of the seal inside the mum's womb, okay? So it's not fully formed, it's growing. This is where it's still attached to the mum, okay? But here you need to tell me how long they are in there for. So the gestation period. Now seals is 9 months, but as I said, animals can vary, okay? If you can find out the size, then please do. So the seal grew from a cell to about 75 centimetres. Then it goes to the seal pup, okay? Which is the infant or the baby. But obviously different baby animals are called different things. They're not all going to be pups. Like if you're doing a cow, it's going to be a calf, isn't it? Is it a calf? Yeah. Okay, so tell me again what size they are, how much they can weigh. Are they dependent on their mum for food? Okay, and if so, for how long for? So it's a seal, it's the first 4 to 6 weeks, okay, but it will vary from animal to animal. My hands are covered in whiteboard pen, okay? Then it turns into a juvenile seal, okay? So at this point, seals are still, they leave their mums at this point, but they're still staying with adults to know what to do, okay? So they're not dependent on their mum, but they still don't know everything, which is again like teenagers in us, okay? Adult seals, okay? Here I've told us at what age they reach adults, okay? So it varies from animal to animal because obviously humans don't turn adults when we are 3 to 7, thank goodness, okay? Tell me the size if you can. Here I've got females give birth normally to 1 pup a year, whereas rabbits will give birth to a lot more, okay? Elephants, a lot less. It won't be every year, okay? See if you can find that out. Remember the gestation period, so how long are they pregnant for? How long do the average live for? Okay, do the females live longer? Do the adults live longer? Does it tell you why? Okay, so you can find out as much detail as you can. Okay, this is about the minimum amount of information I want. Okay, if you can find more, please do. Okay, now the reason this is a cycle, sorry I've not mentioned this, obviously my adult doesn't turn back to a seal embryo, but an adult female will have one of these growing inside of them once they've mated. Okay, if you can find out different animals when their mating seasons are, so some it happens throughout different times of the year. If you can find that out, please do. But the more facts you find out, the better. Certain animals are off limits, okay, because we're not doing them. No one can now do a seal because that would be copying me. Butterflies, no, too simple. We've done them in year 2, along with tadpoles and chickens and things like that, okay? The more obscure animals, the better. Your teacher will be sending out 3 postcards to the 3 who have the most obscure animals. That's not 3 per person, just they'll send out 3, okay? So some favourites in previous years, they've done a life cycle of a salmon, of a beaver, of a white rhino, okay? Don't just pick an animal like an elephant. Pick a certain type of elephant, because your African elephant might be different from your Indian elephant, okay? Be more specific. You can use pictures and drawings like I have, so they can be cartoony drawings, or if you want to use your internet, take pictures off Google so you've got actual real life images. If you want to do it on the computer, you can. If you want to draw it out, you can, okay? But the more information, the better. Remember, you don't just have to use the internet to find out your information. You might have animal books at home or leaflets lying around, okay? Use them. Excellent. I look forward to seeing them.